Welcome to round 11 of the AFL, and welcome to round 2 of the Sir Doug Nicholls Round. Let's get tipping. Let's start with seeing how we did in round 10, which had some interesting results to say the least. We started on Thursday with the Gold Coast versus the Cats, and, well, let's just say no one got a close score on this one because Cats were blown out of the water. I'm amazed they managed to get to 100 in the first place because they were dead and buried from very early on. The Gold Coast Suns had a fantastic match indeed. I did the Cats to win by 10. I thought it'd be close-ish, but no, because Gold Coast won by 64. Luckily, only 18% of you guys went for Gold Coast, so I'm not necessarily missing out on too much. So let's see next game, which was Friday. Swans versus Carlton. My boys, they did very, very well. We bossed it, basically. It was I say we bossed it. The start of the game, we were nearly 30 points down. I thought, oh no, this is where the wheels come off. But we finished the first quarter fairly strong, and we just went from there. We almost were giving Carlton a false sense of security, and we demolished them. We are playing so well. Heaney, Starman, he was fantastic. I did Swans to win by 6. I thought it'd be a close game. It was not, Carlton fans. Carlton, you got destroyed by the Swans. And so, yeah, I get nothing. And there was a few people, there's at least 3 or 4 people there that did get a close score. So if you are one of them, well done. That is a fantastic call to make. Then Saturday, Collingwood versus Crows. Very tight. I did not think it would be this tight. Collingwood are not playing their best football at the moment, are they? They are now getting results and they are going up the table, but they're not necessarily dominating very often. Crows put up a good fight and it was a close game, but Collingwood get the win. I did Collingwood to win by 30. They only won by 4. Bit of a shame, but I do get the point for the win. Then this was a shock, I thought. I do think this was a shock. Bulldogs run out 27-point winners. GWS just didn't turn up in this game at all. And so once again, the underdogs did win the day. Not many people, again, got a close score, so that's probably okay for me. It's not awful. So no points for me there. Then Brisbane, well, this was an absolute demolition. I thought I was having a good prediction when I did Brisbane to win by 52. They actually won by 119 points. Is that the biggest margin so far this season? Incredible. Richmond, what the hell are they doing? What the hell are they doing? Brisbane haven't even been playing that well this season, but they destroyed Richmond. I think that more says how bad Richmond are than how good Brisbane are at the moment. So, crazy. 1 point at least. Then, St Kilda versus Freo. I did think Freo would win. I thought they would win by a closest margin away from home, as did quite a few people. So, quite a few people got the close score in this one. I did Freo to win by 10. They actually won by 17. I get 1 point for the win and half a point for a close result. So that's decent. That's good. Then Essendon versus North. Well, I thought they would win by more. I thought Essendon would win by more. I did them to win by 65. They actually won by 40. Quite a few people would have got a close score. But yeah, you can see Tigers, North, no one is picking them to win, are they? But I get 1 point for the win, so I'll have to take that. Then, this was hilarious. I tell you, I'll set the scene for you. I was in bed, watching the second half, and I'm thinking, what the hell is going on with Port? How are they losing to Hawthorn? And then Hawthorn decided, yeah, we're just going to defend. And we've worked out that most of the time in AFL, defending does not win because it just builds pressure. The field is too big to be able to prevent them taking shots at goal. And with 3 seconds left, even Charlie laying next to me had a little giggle. 3 seconds left, Port managed to kick it through for a 6 point to get that 1 point win. Insane. I thought it would be a much bigger win, as I think a lot of people did. But I get 1 point for the win. Last game of the week was West Coast versus Melbourne. And what the hell? What the hell? It doesn't massively help West Coast. They are still in 16th place, but what were the D's doing? That puts D's down to 8th place. The game they should easily win, that puts them down to 8th place. That really may put a spanner in the works of them finishing top 8 later on in the season if they don't get a kick up the arse. Amazingly. One person got a close result here. What the? That is a big result for that one person. If you are that one person that got the close result, let me know in the comments, but that is insane. Time to look at the league table, and it is hotting up. There is a lot of movement. RPN 24 is still top, having an absolute blinder of a season. Gurud is up 1, Metal King is down 1. Yin is still in 4th, but this is incredible. The story of Jackson, last year's winner, he up, down, and he is rising. He is chasing the pack. Judo Eza up 9. Any other big movers? Down up 8 is Shrek the Third. Frenchie down 7. Up 10 Spiteful. Up 20 Seashell. Well done, and you didn't even get the golden hat. Up 15 is Gibbo. Any other big movers? Down 12 is Sky Marie. Up 14 is Cal. He's trying to get back up there. Up 24 is Beauregard. Down 12, Vam H, 26. Down 18 is Marie Formica. Who gets the gold? Oh, Tiger Eye 2 gets the golden hat. I've made progress. I am now 80. I am now 80. I've gone up 1 place. Who gets the wooden spoon? Down 17, Rhymeester. Ouch. Who gets... Gokstar gets the wooden spoon. But how cool is this? How many people have in this group? It's incredible. We got 162 people participating, and that is amazing. Before we get tipping round 11, which is obviously week 2 of the Sir Doug Nicholls Indigenous round, I would like to say, I stress, I am not an expert. It's very difficult because I'm not in the environment 24/7 down under. So I'm doing my best. Now, obviously, I have been to Australia twice. I have been to a prelim final. I have been to a grand final. But it's very difficult to keep up with all the injuries and team changes. It's not easy. So the main idea of this is so that we can have a community each week that has some fun and has a reason to actually tip. I say tip, more predictions than tipping, isn't it? But that is the idea. Anyway, first game of the week is a cracker because the Swans are playing, the Bloods are playing on Thursday at the Marvel Stadium is Western Bulldogs, who have won their last 2 against Swans, who have won their last 6. We are on fire. Honestly, hopefully no one will put water on us because we are top of the table and having an absolute cracking season. Honestly, the midfield especially is just sensational at the moment. Who do I think is going to win this? Well, I think Western Bulldogs being sort of not quite at home, but in Victoria, that sort of helps them a little bit maybe. But actually, Swans have shown that it doesn't really matter if we're playing home or away at the moment. We have had some fantastic results against bigger teams than the Bulldogs. So I don't really see Bulldogs winning this one. It may be a little bit closer. It may be a little bit closer than, say, last week. But I don't see anything other than a Swans win. So I'm going to go Swans. Let's do Swans by 16. I do think Bulldogs may put up a bit of a fight at least. Next up is Friday. It is Freo versus the Pies. Now, Pies are on really good form as well. After their shocking start, they have found really good form, although it's not been convincing. That is the only issue for Collingwood. A lot of the time, their results haven't been convincing. And then you're against Freo, who are playing at home, and 1 minute they're brilliant, the next they are awful. It's so hard to predict them. I think, although the Pies aren't necessarily winning games as comfortably as they could, I think they're well managed enough that they should get the job done. That's the main thing. But it could possibly be close being at the Optus. Bit of travel for the Pies. So let's go with a Pies win. Let's go 7. 7, yeah. Then Saturday, and it is Carlton versus Gold Coast Suns. Now Carlton, they started really well and are really, really struggling now. It's not going so well for them at the moment, is it? So it's a difficult one. It is a difficult one because Gold Coast had a fantastic win last week. A really, really big win last week. Not easy. Not easy to call this one because Carlton just haven't had the consistency at all. Do we go with Carlton simply the fact that they are tough to beat at home? I think that's a real bonus for Carlton. They do usually play pretty well at home. And I think Carlton's defence and midfield will win the day here. I think Gold Coast have been fairly exciting in attack, but I think the defence and midfield of Carlton should probably cancel that out. So this is a tough call with how both teams have been playing. Let's go Carlton by 18. Carlton by 18, but that is not an easy one to pick. Then Blundstone Arena down in Hobart. North versus Port. Port once again haven't been convincing. Last week they won by 1 point in the third second to go. They scraped past what is pretty much a poor Hawthorn team. But I just can't see North even buying a win. It should be a big margin, shouldn't it? It should be a big margin. It's just how much. I thought it would be bigger margin last week against North, and they cut it down slightly. But let's go Port by 50. I feel so bad for North. It's almost like it's never going to get better, and I'm sure it will at some point. But it just feels like it's never going to get better for them, and I feel so sorry. Next, we're at the litter box for Geelong versus Giants. Geelong don't lose very often at the litter box. That's the biggest statement you can make. Okay, both teams actually are fairly strong teams. You've got Geelong in third on 28 points. Giants are sixth with 1 win less on 24 points. There isn't really a lot separating these two teams. And actually, I think I'm going to go for what is the underdog here. And I think I'm going to go with the Giants to win this. I don't know. I've just got a feeling that Giants can pull off a win here. Geelong, it's amazing. Considering they've lost the last 3 in a row, they were obviously sitting top comfortably and then obviously have slipped. Just think Giants may be able to pull off a little bit of a surprise result here. So I'm going to go with the Giants win by 10. Yeah, let's go with the Giants win by 10. I think this game could go either way, actually. But it just feels like Geelong are on a little bit of a slump now. I know Giants have also lost the last 3. But I'm looking for a bit of an upset. I am. Let's see how that goes. Richmond versus Essendon at the MCG. Who's going to win this one, I wonder? Surely there is no chance of Richmond winning this. Essendon are having a cracking season as well. Sitting in second place, they are surely going to make top 8 this year. They're doing very, very well. They're playing consistently. Even when they're not necessarily playing well, they're still getting the results, which shows that resilience. There's nothing, right? There is nothing coming from Richmond at all. How they've got that 1 win is well, Crazy, really. So what big result am I going to give Essendon? Should we do another 50? Might be more. Oh, this is 50? Let's go 55. Let's go 55. Let's hedge on the slightly more optimistic. Sunday, Marvel, Hawthorn versus Brisbane. Hawthorn, they actually had a good game until they decided to bottle it in the fourth quarter and just go defensive. Poor tactics by the management there. I think Brisbane, they're in 12th, but they have shown signs that they are better than their league position. But then they've shown signs that they are, deserving of that position, because it's been really, really mixed for them. But they are playing a Hawthorn side that isn't necessarily great. And I'm surprised they got the 3 wins recently. I think showing that they're last year's finalists, should have more in the tank, right? And so this has got to be the sort of time now where they really start kicking on. They're not out of it. They're not out of it, are they? The draw they got actually wasn't a bad result. They're 6 points. 6 points off 8th place, and so I do potentially see them hitting some run of form, and that could continue from Sunday. I just, after the amount of energy that Hawthorn put into their last game, which they lost, I just see it going downhill. Let's go Brisbane. Let's go Brisbane by 26. Yeah. Okay, MCG. Melbourne versus Saints. Now, obviously, Melbourne had an awful, awful performance in the last game. Just dreadful, dreadful. Saints, though, currently sitting in 14th. They got no consistency. They are showing no signs of life. And I think I can't see Melbourne losing more than 2 games in a row. They're not going to lose 3 games in a row, surely. Melbourne normally fairly strong at the MCG, except when Swans play them, obviously. How bad? That was such a bad performance last week. It makes me almost a little bit angry because I backed these. They're not my team, but I back them to be consistently good. So, they will turn it round. This week, because I don't see anything coming from Saints. Saints have been consistently poor this season, and they are not finishing in the top 8 at all. Let's go with a Melbourne win by 30. I think hopefully that result against West Coast and the previous week, it should give them a kick up the arse, right? They now have gone from a position where they probably are pretty comfortable to be in the top 8 to now having to fight. They will now have to fight, and so they've got to find the form. Last game of the week, though, is at the Oval, Adelaide Oval, Crows versus West Coast. This is a difficult one to call, actually. This might be the most difficult, which you wouldn't have been saying this last year, or even at the start of the season, because West Coast, on paper, are a really poor team. They're not doing well. They are in 16th, but Crows have lacked consistency. They've lacked the firepower that the other teams above them have had. It's weird. I know I didn't think I would be struggling to choose if West Coast are going to lose or win, but I've got to go with Adelaide. I think Adelaide at home. I can't see West Coast doing it 2 games in a row. They haven't got that firepower. They haven't got that consistency. So we're going to go with a Crows win, and we're going to go with a fairly positive Crows win by 27. There you go. So this week's tips, we go Sydney by 16, Collingwood by 7, Carlton by 18, Port a big win by 50, Giants by 10, Essendon also a big win by 55, Brisbane by 26, Melbourne by 30, and the Crows by 27. Let's see how we do this week. Hopefully we will go up more than just 1 place like we did last week. I hope everyone's enjoying. It's so much fun, and it's it gives you a reason to watch every game as well, rather than just the team you support, which is awesome. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, obviously like and subscribe. Go to Charlie and Rob as we are on YouTube, and you can check out all of our vlogs when we were down in Australia for 6 whole weeks over 2 years, and our AFL matches we went to. So, like and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.